Hey. Bye, darling. James is just leaving. He's been doing his yoga in here. Oh, he's going to say hello.
Hello, whoever's out there.
We don't know who it is yet. So it's nearly spring, or it feels. Yesterday felt like spring. Bye. Yesterday felt like spring, didn't it? Well, like down here in Devon it did. But yeah, it's very blustery today, and a biting cold wind. Hi Fiona. Hi Kathy. Nice to see you. And I think Eve's going to be quite. Yeah, she's going for a walk with her dog, so she'll be a little bit late. So she probably won't say hello. So I hope you're both well, and whoever else is here as well. Oh, Emma, great. Yes. Spring is on its way. It's actually so good. It's so good. Like it feels like it's just really needed, especially this year. Just like the kind of the spring smells and stuff when the sun really comes out. And it's quite exciting. I mean, I was quite excited reading about when things are going to lift the lockdown here. Like the lockdown's going to lift here, except for yoga classes inside is not till May. Like, oh my God, that's a really long time. It's not going to be at least till like May 17th or something. Anyway, so yes, I know Emma, but never been so happy to see spring in her whole life. It's true. It's got this feeling of like it's like we've been bears in hibernation or something. Like, I'm really excited. Sorry, I'm just rabbiting on, but I'm really excited that not Glastonbury Festival, but the smaller festivals like Buddhafield and then Voice Camp, like the camp that I like to go to and Emma goes to as well sometimes. We both go to it. And they'll be able to happen this year, all going well, because everything's going to be lifted by June the 21st, all going well. So I'm really excited about that. And I think it's gonna be like the roaring 20s again, I reckon. Everyone's gonna go mental. Anyway, that's enough of my excitement. Should we get started? Shame I can't hear you, but nice to see you. Let's get started. I will just check that this is all okay. And I'm hoping the internet's all right. My phone is outside in its lunchbox. That's all right, isn't it? Get me old poems out. I'll just test my audio. So, can you still, I'm going to speak pretty quietly and let me know. Will one of you let me know if you can hear me okay? I'm just going to go over and turn the heating up. Can you hear me okay? I'm just speaking really quietly and moving over to the thermostat. Hear me, that means my audio is working. Right, did you hear me okay when I went far away? It's just better to check it out now rather than realizing later that it's all not happening. Great. Yay. Oh, do you mean the poems, the same poetry book? Kathy. I actually use I just printed them off on the internet, but I really want her book, which is quite serious, but it's Dana Folds, and she does yoga. She does yoga poetry, and it's just really. I just think they're really lovely. It's basically her own exploration through yoga and just her writing about it. So that's who I've been reading from each week. Yeah, some of them they are really lovely. Some of them, I mean, which is Danna, and then the last name is Faulds. In fact, I'll just quickly type it here. So, so find yourself somewhere nice and comfy and make yourself comfortable with a cushion or a blanket. I did a children's yoga video on Sunday, recorded it with two older children, who were about 10 and 11, Lumi and Amber. Unfortunately, Elkie didn't want to stay. She's 3 and she was really excited, and then suddenly was like, she said, I don't want to do this anymore. But she would have been so cute in it. But basically, we did this, and now I just want to like teach children's yoga. So I'll try not to be too kind of patronizing in this class. But it's so easy to kind of want to go over like a rainbow. We're being rainbows. We're being doggies down in doggy pose. Anyway, it was good fun. Okay, so let's drop into our bodies and using the breath to gently engage our awareness in what's happening for us right now, where we are, how we're feeling. Check in with your body. And as you inhale, feeling the expansion of your upper body. So you're kind of drawing in the energy from around. And as you exhale, really resting into your seated position. Dropping down gently. Gently contracting your abdominal area, your abdomen, rib cage and chest. And notice any thoughts that arise as you're sitting here. Just take a moment to acknowledge them and then let them pass. And take note of any sensations in your body. Any areas that maybe feel like they need a bit of attention today. Just witness how your body's feeling without needing to correct anything. And how you're feeling on an emotional level. Remembering it will come and go. Any feelings of excitement? Any feelings that we associate with more negatively? All those more positively? Excitement, love, calm. Remembering they're all one and the same. We can just let them rest, let them be. And inhaling, lengthen right from your sit bones, your coccyx, your sacrum, feeling the lengthening through your lumbar spine, lower spine, and your thoracic, and then up through your cervical spine, your neck, and a gentle lifting on the inhale through the crown of the head. And a gentle softening your shoulders, your arms, face muscles as you exhale. Notice any area that might be still have any tension in your face, all those amazing amount of muscles in our face. With me, I'm noticing I'm closing my eyes tight. I can just invite my eyes and my brow to soften. So any areas, whether it's your brow or your jaw, invite a softening in. Let's begin our practice with our Om vibration 3 times together. And then gently opening your eyes. And we'll start by moving the head from side to side, exhaling over your shoulder. Inhale forward and exhale over the other side. So you're just gently waking up the neck. Depending on how you slept, it can be quite different each day. I'm definitely noticing a bit stiffer today, wondering how I slept. And then back to center, and then gently left ear to the left shoulder, and the shoulders can relax. So really dropping them away from your ears. And then back up to center and over to the other side. Wonderful. Back up to center. And a couple more on either side. So we're taking 3 on either side. That's lovely. Perfect. Wonder if I've done 4. Sometimes I get so into it. Okay, so bringing your head back up and then looking down at your feet. And we're taking 3 either side of your head rolls. So inhaling up and exhaling down. Being as gentle as you need to with the back of your neck. Remembering your deep breath. So if you're doing Ujjayi breath, a slightly throaty breath. Wonderful for clearing the sinuses or the nasal passages, which is what I definitely need at the moment. And then going the other way, if you haven't already. I think I've said this before, but anything to do with my neck, I just get really spaced out and I actually can't count. So sometimes don't follow me. If you're finding I'm suddenly doing 4 and I was meant to do 3. And bringing the head down to look at the ankles, feet. When you've done your 3, you can bring your head back up. Lovely. That's fantastic. Great, so let's lift the shoulders and drop them down. So you can use lovely, deep, strong breaths. So depending on how you're feeling today, this might be quite a dynamic practice. So let's just see. It's a waxing moon, so we're heading up for a full moon on Saturday. And I'm definitely at my more energetic time of the month. So lifting up your shoulders and then rotating forward. So if I end up, who knows, I'm just different every day, but if I end up kind of doing things faster or in a more dynamic way, more powerful, then you're not feeling like that, just slow it down. Can't gauge the room in the same way if in an online class like this without being able to see people. And then back. So you can do, if you want to, you could always do it like I am, where I'm stroking my knees, like doing circles on my knees as I'm circling my shoulders. It's involving the whole arm. And then bringing back to center. And then lifting up the arms. Although I have to say at this point, if you've had a long time and you've had enough in your seated position, do take a break. So lifting up the arms with the palms up, and then palms forward, down, back, down, forward, and up, forward, down, back, down, forward, 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 up. And then we'll bring the right arm in the crease of the left elbow. So you are stretching out your shoulders. You can relax your arm because it's done quite a bit of work just there. And breathe in your right arm. Lovely. That's great. So just having a soft stretch here. And then opening up the arms again and bring the left arm in this time into the crease of the right elbow. You may or may not be able to hear me so well. My audio is being a bit covered up. Deep breaths. Lovely. That's wonderful. And then opening up your forearms towards your face with your palms going towards your face. And then gently bringing the bringing the arms together, and then your right is going over your left and you're stretching down the eagle stretch. So your palms are coming together and your thumbs are going towards your face. So it may be that this isn't happening for you, and you might just, because this one was the stretch that's a preliminary for that. So if you feel like you just can't do that, you can just bring your arms in like this. That's fine. It won't be such a stretch. And then lifting up your eagle arms. So we're strengthening a similar stretch to what we were just doing before. We're going a bit deeper into it. And you can lift, if you like it strong, you can lift up your upper arms so they're parallel with the mat. And then opening up your arms, lovely. Bring your hands up and your palms towards your face, bringing your hands in front of your face, your forearms in front of your face, putting your left on top of the right. And see how that is. So your thumbs will be, as much as possible, your thumbs are facing towards your face and your palms are together. I've actually only got my lower palms. So basically I've got some fingers on my palms. And lifting up the upper arm, so parallel with the mat if you like it stronger. And then releasing down. Whew, that's strong, isn't it? So give yourself a bit of a rotating back and rotating forward. That's great. Okay, so let's come out of this seated position. We'll find another one. And so bring yourself back and we'll move the knees from side to side to have a little rock out. Deep breaths, that's nice. That's good. And so we'll bring our left leg in so that the foot is in at your groin area. And then the right leg is going back, so you're in deer pose. So your right foot is pointing backwards towards the back of the mat. That's great. And I'm enjoying having this blanket involved. So I'm sitting on the blanket because otherwise I kind of notice in deer pose I go over a little bit. So then placing down your left hand and coming over, stretching out the right side of the body. Inhale up and then over to the other side. Stretching out. One more time on either side this time. Stretching out. And then bringing yourself up. And then coming into a twist. So breathing, inhaling, lengthening through the crown. And then exhale over to the left side. So your right hand is on the left thigh here. And your left hand is behind. And looking out over the side. Inhaling through the crown, so really feel lengthening as you inhale. And exhale, softening a little bit more into the twist. This is actually a variation of a traditional yoga posture named after a sage. I can't remember what it's called. It begins with B. And then bringing yourself forward. And we'll come into a little mini stargazer, so placing your left hand down and then reaching up and stretching out the right side. Deep breaths, and then bring yourself down and lengthening out your right leg. So coming into Janu Shirshasana. Taking a breath in and exhale, folding forward and finding your place. So it might just be on the carpet or floor, mat. Otherwise, you might be just on your shin, or you're coming to your foot, or using a strap. And gently folding forward as you exhale. And as you inhale, there's a lengthening from the crown of the head. Remember, we're doing this at the beginning of the practice, so it's going to be less likely, and it's morning as well, it's going to be less likely that you'll be like right down here, because you're still stretching up, waking up your hamstrings. It all takes a little bit of time. We don't want to pull any muscles, so go nice and slowly. And your drishti is pada drishti, so it's at your foot or your big toe. Your eye gaze, big toe. Take some lovely deep breaths. And then inhaling, bringing yourself up. And then we'll place the left hand down again and we'll come up into a full stargazer here. So we'll stretch up right from your foot through your leg, through the upper body, right up to your fingertips. And then bringing yourself on, opening up the legs, flexing the feet, taking a breath in, and exhale, fold forward, coming straight forward this time. Some people like to hold their peace fingers around the big toes. It's quite nice just to feel into your legs and see how far as you go, or hold your hands down on the mat or the floor. And then inhale up. Let's just move down to the side, going to one side. Bring yourself back up and down to the other side. I think I'm doing all this flowing. So all these leggings someone just gave me, and they're really smooth. It's quite nice touching them. And then you bring yourself to the other side. And then bring your other foot in. So your right foot is coming in into your hip or your inner thigh here, and then turning around your left foot. So your the left leg, and the left foot is coming back towards your back of the mat. Okay, behind you. So okay, I've got my old blanket back in there just because it's good, nice for me for stabilizing. And we'll come over into the side stretch. So placing the right hand down, left hand up, inhaling up, and then over to the side. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. That's great. Oh, I think I'm doing more than on the other side. That's okay. We'll do a little bit more. There we are. And then bringing yourself back up and then coming into the twist. Inhale, lengthening, and then exhale, gently softening into the twist. So going the other way. So it's left hand on your right quad area and your right hand behind. So remember, it's lengthening on the inhale and softening on the exhale. Deep breaths. And then lengthening and bring yourself back. Lovely. And then placing the right hand down and coming up into a mini stargazer. Really stretching out the left side of your body. And then back down. At this point, I release my blanket. And then straightening your left leg. Janu Shishasana. Janu being your knee and Shirsha being your head. Okay, so inhale, lengthening, and then exhale, finding your place. Really just being relaxed and gentle with this. Inhaling through the crown and exhale, gently softening. Inhale and exhale. So remember your drishti, your eye gaze, is at your foot or big toe. And then inhaling. Gently bring yourself back up, and then placing your right hand down and lifting up into full stargazer, gazing up at those stars. Reaching right from your toes, up your body and then through your fingers. And then bringing yourself back down. Lovely. And then bringing the feet together. The knees. Inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Deep breaths. Feel the lifting as you inhale and the softening as you exhale. Breathing into your hips and your lower back. And then on the exhale, start to bring yourself back up and closing your knees. And bring yourself into seated so that you're facing the front of your mat, depending on, I'm not sure how you were before on your mat. We're going to come up into a strong abdominal strengthening pose, the boat pose, Navasana. So keeping your back lovely and straight, taking a breath in and then exhale up. So you're resting on your sit bones. So you could keep your hands behind your knees if you wish, looking straight ahead. Your eye gaze is your big toe or a bit further, straight ahead. Otherwise, you can release your hands. See how that is. Really holding in your abdominal muscles. And if you can straighten your legs, then please do. If you really want to, but be careful of your lower back. And keeping yourself, you're resting, really resting like a V if you've got straight legs. And imagining being a boat, and then bring yourself forward for a moment, stretching out. And then back up. We'll do it 2 more times. So lifting up pelvic floor, navel back to spine, so strong abs, looking straight ahead. Looking after your lower back. And then bringing yourself down. Relaxing forward for a moment. And then back up. And then feet together, relaxing forward, lovely. And then coming into cross-legged and bringing yourself round. So you're coming into tabletop posture. So holding your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And feel into your body this morning. So we'll start with our gentle flowing movements any way we wish. So feel into exactly what you're wanting to do this morning. So it can be at your own pace. That might have been quite strong. And that was actually really strong on my lower back. So I think my tummy muscles were feeling a bit weak this morning. And so I had to work really hard to engage them. So gently moving. Oh, I'm just going to mute my computer. I thought I did that, but I must have unmuted. So really take a note of the area or any areas of your body that are feeling maybe a little bit more stuck or difficult this morning. And just invite them in and welcome them. So any areas that we find difficult or uncomfortable, they're completely welcome. And then, of course, if there's a beautiful kind of flowing, easy movements as well, they're welcome too. And you might wish to snake your spine, so your hips are moving one way and then your shoulders start to move the other way. And you're feeling like one of those toy snakes that kind of go from side to side. They used to be wooden, but I've seen some plastic ones as well. And then starting to move into flowing cat. So we're inhaling up, looking up. And then exhale, lift up your back towards the ceiling and bring yourself back almost into child. And then swoop down and inhale up. Deep breath. So Ujjayi breath if you're using Ujjayi breath. Inhale up. Exhale. Remembering this is your practice. Going as slow as you need to or as dynamically as you need to. It's lovely to follow a class, someone else's instructions, but also it's really important to listen to your body. It'll be different for you than it is for anyone else. So and then inhaling, bring yourself up, and then exhale back into child. Resting here for a moment in child. Bring the knees together and bring yourself up. Bring the hands to the heart center. Namaste. Lifting up, stretching yourself up, and then folding forward. Inhale into upward cat. And then turning the toes around. Inhale into downward dog. So we're going straight into downward dog. I haven't gone through half and a cute dog. It's going straight in. We can walk out the backs of the heels, walk out the heels. So we're straight. Oh my God, my vocabulary just goes on the bed. We're stretching the backs of the legs is what I'm trying to say. Really encouraging, inviting your chest back towards your feet. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, lowering the knees down. Inhale up. Exhale, back into child. Inhale, gently bring yourself through and coming through into cobra. So you bring your hands by your shoulders. And then inhale up, bring yourself either into a low cobra to start with. And if you want to, you can come straight up into a higher cobra. In some ways, it can feel a bit easier sometimes to go up to high cobra. Depends on your body and how you're feeling. Exhaling down, turning the toes round. And then exhale back into downward dog. Then inhale, lift up the right leg. Start with the hips next to each other, with the foot facing down, the toes facing down. And then open up the hips so that they're stacked on top of each other. And then bring your heel back towards your hips. And then gently bring the right leg through and lower the knee. You can always place a blanket underneath your knee if you wish. And then inhale forward and exhale back. So we're coming into our hip stretch and our hamstring stretch. I like to cup my hands when I'm doing this, but just if you can have it, I sometimes put my hands flat down as well, but it's quite nice cupping them. That's lovely. Inhaling forward and then placing your left hand down and your right hand up. So we're coming into the twist, low lunge twist. Really feel the lengthening from your through your arm and how that, if you exhale, lifting up and how that affects the twist in the rest of your body. And then placing the right hand down, turning the toes round, and then coming up into warrior one. So clipping your back foot down and move to heel alignment and facing forward. So your back foot is about 45 degrees in, so it's more than warrior two because your hips are coming forward. And your knee is over your ankle. I get quite a sway back in this, so if I can tuck in tummy a little bit, that can help. And then bringing the hands to the heart. And then lifting the arms up. And so the palms can be together or they could be shoulder width apart. There's different ways of doing it. So if you notice your toes are really gripping into the mat, you can just lift them and soften them down. And strengthen the back legs. So you're really engaging the muscles in the back legs. So really nice straight leg. And then bring the hands back down to the heart. And then heel toe your foot so that it's in line with your arch. Shorten the stance a little bit. And your foot, the back foot's only about 15 degrees in. Opening up your arms. Bend your knees slightly to begin with, just a little bit. We're coming into Trikonasana. So encouraging your right arm forward and then finding your place, straightening your leg. And then find your place on your shin or even up higher, that's fine. Or some people like to come right down to the foot, and you could always cup your hand like I'm doing now. And open. The main thing is you're opening up your chest and you're not compromising or slumping down in any way. This is triangle posture. So there's a few triangles going on here. And then if you wish, you can always bring the upper arm around and it helps open up your shoulder. So I'm putting my hand down in between my waist and my thigh. You can open up your shoulder, that's quite nice. And then bend the leg, your knee. Take it all up, don't they? And then bring yourself back up. That's lovely. And then looking forward, bringing your foot in. Oh no, actually, sorry, it's warrior two posture. Sorry, we're coming into so like warrior two posture. So heel to arch alignment, slightly wider than Trikonasana. But let's open up the chest and bring ourselves forward into humble warrior. So it's giving ourselves a bit of a shoulder stretch. So you're clasping your hands, and then in humble warrior, you're bringing your hands and your arms above the head as much as they want to go. Lifting up pelvic floor, your mula bandha, so keeping yourself nice and strong there. Then bring the hands back down to the sacrum and then bring yourself back up. Heel toe, so you're coming out a bit. So you bring your feet, so your heel to heel alignment or a little bit wider. Then inhale, look forward. Exhale, folding forward and lowering your left knee down. And then bring your right knee underneath. So coming into pigeon. So if you need a blanket or a cushion underneath your right hip, if you've noticed you roll over to the right when you're in this posture, then place a blanket or cushion underneath. Your hips are weighted over your, you know what I mean. Your hips are so in line, so they're in line so that they're on the mat, or it's like it's like they're heading towards the mat. Opening up the chest. Exhale, gently fold forward. Deep breaths. If you need to stack your fists, that's always a good thing to do as well. You can stack your fists on top of each other if it feels too far down. This pigeon can be like that. And then gently bring yourself back up. We'll come into the quad stretch. So if your left hand on your left foot, I do it on the outside of the foot, actually, kind of like the ankle. And then looking forward, exhale your foot towards your hips. But it might be that they don't go very far. That's fine to just be like this. But it's a wonderful stretch of your quad muscles. Deep, strong breaths. Lovely. And then releasing down. That's good. Then bringing the back leg over so that you're coming into Gomukhasana, the cow face. So here we've got, might be that you're able to put your knees so that they're together like this. They're stacked on top of each other. And your cow horns are here. And with cow face posture, when we do the arms, if the left leg is on top, our left arm is on top. So either we bring our left hand down between our shoulder blades and the elbow facing the ceiling, and the right hand on the left elbow like this. That's a nice way to start. But if you're able to, you can also bring your right hand behind and you can clasp or use a strap. So you're clasping around about your shoulder blades a little, maybe even a little bit higher. You're clasping your hands together. And this gives a bit of a stretch on your right shoulder. So as you're stretched down. So either way is fine. Remember, you can still just do this way. But just being careful of your head so you're not compromising and pushing your head forward. Feeling the lifting from the crown of the head. Deep breaths. That's lovely. And then releasing down. That's wonderful. And then lifting up your left knee, so it's pointing towards the ceiling, and bringing in your right heel in towards your hip. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, coming into either you're hugging your left knee and placing your left hand behind, otherwise levering around. So popping your upper arm on top of your thigh, just above your knee. And if you are a binder, you could bring in the bind. Oh, so difficult. Bringing the binding like this. If you wish to. I don't do it very often, so I'm going to do it today, just to do something different. Inhale, lengthening, and then softening into the twist. So deep, strong breaths. And then bring your head back to center and having a little look forward and then releasing down and placing the hands on the other side, the right side, and just have a little bow. And then bring yourself back up. And then bring yourself back onto all fours. So I've just gone and done the thing that I not to do in a live stream class in case someone leaves. So I've done all one side. So hopefully you're going to stay for the second side, otherwise you might be walking around in circles all day. So coming back onto your heels, bring the hands to the heart center. And stretching up. And then exhaling down into child. Inhale up into upward facing cat. Exhale down into downward facing. And stretching out, walking out your downward dog. Inhale, upward cat. Exhale, child. Deep breaths. Remember your Ujjayi breath. Taking a breath in and then exhale through, coming to cobra. So either low cobra or high cobra. And then inhale up to low cobra or high cobra. Taking a breath here. And bring yourself down, breath in, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, cat. And then turning the toes around, exhale, down dog, because I remember we did things up here, didn't we? And then lifting up the left foot. And so the toes are pointing downwards and the hips are next to each other. And then stack the hips, so you're turning yourself onto the side and the left heel is going back towards your hips. And then bringing your foot through and lowering the knee down and coming into our hip hamstring stretch. Inhale forward, exhale back. Deep, lovely, strong breaths. That's great. Exhaling back and then bringing yourself back to neutral. And then planting the right hand down and the left hand up, opening up the chest. Wonderful. That's lovely. And then placing your left hand down and then turning your knee around and clipping down your back foot. So you've got heel to heel alignment and you're coming up into Warrior One. So make any adjustments you need. Your knee is over ankle, really strong through the back leg. Lifting up, so the back leg, you're not collapsing in your arch, lifting up, rolling back onto the outside of your back foot. And so that encourages engaging the inner leg, back leg. And bring the hands to the heart, facing forward, tucking in tummy. It's like I've got a mirror here, you see, so I can see that I'm going like that. Hands at the heart. And then lifting up. So either shoulder width apart or bringing the hands together, the palms together. Looking straight ahead. Deep breaths. If your toes are clinging on, you can lift them up, soften them down. Lifting up pelvic floor. And bring the hands back down to the heart. And then turning around to have a look at your legs. And we're going to heel toe the left foot, the front foot, in so that your heel is in line with the arch. And then you're turning your right foot out a little bit so it's only 15 degrees rather than about 45 degrees as it was before. And so your stance is not quite as wide as Virabhadrasana as a warrior. So bring your arms up parallel with the mat, bending the knees slightly, reaching forward, feeling your left arm invited forward, and then slowly bringing your left hand down and finding its place. So we're reaching up through the right hand, right arm, really stretching up. Deep breaths, and then we're stretching down towards the earth. So we've got an earth and sky going on here. And it might be that your hand is on the mat, maybe cupped on the mat, or some people like to hold their big toe. So just finding your place. Might be you're quite high up here. And if you wish to, you can bring around the top arm. It's quite a nice way of opening up your shoulder. So you're finding a place for your right hand, maybe in at your thigh. It might be at your sacrum. You're opening up the shoulder as much as possible if you're doing that. And then gently bring you up. That's wonderful. And then lengthening the pose slightly, the stance of the legs, and coming over into the Warrior Two position, but we're going to clasp behind, we're going to come into Humble Warrior. So clasping behind your sacrum, opening up the chest, and then exhale forward, allowing your hands, your arms to come over your head. Lifting through your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor. And then gently bring yourself back up. Fantastic. And then bring yourself forward with your hands down and then coming into pigeon. So your left leg is bent, your right leg is really nice and stretched back. And remember, if you need a cushion here on the left hip, under the left hip, or a blanket or something, rolled up blanket, and inhale up and exhale, folding forward. So of course you can stack your fists on top of each other and rest your head on your fists. if you wish. Deep, slow breaths. Really resting into this pigeon pose, Kapotasana. And then start to bring yourself up, and then bringing the left hand around, find the left outside of the left foot or ankle. Inhale and exhale, draw in if you wish. Otherwise, just if it's too much, then opt out of this one. But if you can, you're drawing it back. It's lovely. Strong stretch, upper leg, and then bringing your left leg round and stacking on top of your right leg. No, oh God, bring your right leg round, stacking on top of your left leg. Okay, so, I mean, goodness, if you're doing the opposite way round to me and I keep saying it the way I'm doing it and then getting it wrong as well, it's all going to be a bit of a head scramble, isn't it? And so these are your horns, and you may or may not have your knees on top of each other. It might look more like this. It might look more like this. So any way is possible. Remember, you can be using blocks or cushions or anything underneath your hips and seated. And so we're going to bring, because we've got our right leg on top, so we're going to have our right arm on top. And then bring your left hand onto the elbow. Lengthening and softening here. Lengthening on the inhale, softening on the exhale. And then you can bring your left hand back and use a strap if you wish, or clasp if you can. And with me, my left forearm wrist area is acting as a real support for my upper back in between my shoulder blades. It's really like it's like I've got something that's really helping me stay upright and helping my heart rest over my pelvis and my head rest over my heart. Deep, slow, lovely, long breaths. And then releasing the arms down. That's good. And then lifting up the left knee towards the ceiling or the sky. And then bringing your heel, your right, oh God, sorry. Your right knee towards the sky. And your left heel in at your hip. I don't know why I'm so tired at the moment. I haven't been sleeping that well, and so it's making oh my God. I kept having to stop my yoga videos. I was doing a whole Sunday yoga video thing, and I kept having to stop them. Well, just stop and pause, and I'm going to have to edit them out because I just sometimes couldn't even remember what I was doing. Relaxing the shoulders down. Lovely. And then turning into the twist. So remember, you're either just having a little hug here. So wrapping the hand around your right leg, or you're levering. Or coming into the bind. So the bind, you'll probably know it if you know it, but it's got your left arm is going through and back, in front of and then behind your right leg at the point of the knee, and then your right arm, this one, is going around and clasping. So your hands are clasped together. People who get really into this actually like a hand is clasping their wrist. I'm actually just not quite that. I don't do it enough, I don't think. So deep breaths, so you're lengthening through the crown of the head and gently softening into the twist. This is a lovely, strong twist, one of the ancient ones. Inhale, lengthening up, and then exhale. Bring yourself back round and then over to the side and have a little bow down. And then gently bring yourself back up. Well done. That was actually quite a bit of strong practice there, physical practice. So bring yourself back onto the mat. So your knees are facing the sky and your feet are on the earth. And then bringing your knees into the chest and having a little rock from side to side. Yawning, having a good yawn. And then drawing in your drawing in your right knee and flexing your left foot. Inhale, exhale. So inhaling, the knee is going away from you a little bit, and exhale, coming in towards you, wind release pose. It's a bit like your bellow, so you're squeezing the air out of you. And then changing sides, flexing your right foot, left knee in towards your armpit. Inhale, away and exhale. Deep breaths. And then placing your feet so that they're hip width apart and your knees are facing upwards. Placing your hands down, the palms are down by your side. And come into a gentle back bend in a bridge pose. Take a breath in. And we'll start with just exhaling up or rocking our pelvis a little bit. So exhale the pelvis up. Inhale and then exhale it down. Just give ourselves a bit of we're priming the pump. My mum used to say that about feeding babies. You have to prime the pump. You give them a little bit of the food because they often just think they don't want it. A little bit of the food and then they're like, oh, actually I want this. And then start to bring yourself up into bridge pose. And then come up onto your shoulders. Nice and strong in your legs so that your knees are over your feet. And your feet under your knees. And the knees are hip width apart. So if you need a block in between your knees, that's great too. Because we're trying not to make them, so they're not kind of going outwards. Keeping them hip width apart, nice and strong. Really strong in your hips, lifting up. And you can also clasp underneath. That's quite nice. Creates a bit of a foundation of support there. Releasing the hands, taking a breath in and lowering your spine one at a time onto the mat. One more time, we'll bring ourselves up. Exhale. All the way up, lifting up. And if you fancy it, you can always place your block kind of sideways up on
so that you're kind of resting on it, or if you've got a brick block, like one of the square, more kind of squarer ones, rectangle, fatter ones. That's quite handy. A restorative bridge, that's nice. Releasing the hands down and then bringing yourself back down and bring the knees into the chest and rock from side to side. And I'm rocking around, so my knees are staying pretty much in the same alignment, so they're staying together, aligned together, and then I'm rocking in circles. That's good. Then placing your feet down, your arms wide, so they're about the point of the shoulders, and then down a little bit. Lift up your hips and then over to the right-hand side. Then you can either just come over like that, and that's a really nice twist, or you can lift up your knees into your chest and come over. Well, I think we've done it before recently, where you lift up your right leg, place it over the left, and come into the twist, so that you're in a cross-legged twist. A bit like an eagle twist, isn't it? Eagle legs. So looking out over your right arm, softening into this twist. Deep, full breaths. You can release your Ujjayi breath now, but just relax into some deep breaths. Take a breath in and then bring yourself up. That's good. Lift up the hips, place them back to center, and then lift them up again, and then move them over a couple of inches over to the left. And then the knees will go over to the right, or lift them up and over to the right, or bring in the cross-legged position and then over to the right and looking out over your left. So very gentle, calming, soft, relaxed breaths. Feeling totally relaxed in this wonderful twist. Breath in and then bring yourself back up. Realign your pelvis. And then bring your knees into your chest and have a little rock around. And if you like happy baby, you can come into happy baby. A little rock around, maybe straighten your legs. I like doing that one too. And then it's time to find yourself into Shavasana. So making yourself warm, getting any socks you might need, blankets, eye masks, pillows, cushions, jumper, scarf, whatever you want. Make yourself nice and comfy. An 80s waterbed. God, can't believe they existed. Do they still exist? And then really relax down in the full corpse pose. So you're lying there and just completely relaxing your arms, completely relaxing your legs. Becoming as comfortable as you possibly can be. And feeling yourself completely and fully supported by the mat, by the earth beneath the mat. You're so well held, cushioned by a wonderful, soft, comfortable support. There's no need for any tension. Feel completely held, nurtured. You're cocooned in a beautiful, warm, and comfortable blanket of nourishment and support and peace. Feeling your own love wrap around yourself. The love of the whole universe. Feeling the deep peace that is you. Fully holding you. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. Right from your head down to your toes. Right from your heart down to your base. Right from your throat down to your navel. Your whole body is relaxed. Feeling the deep relaxation wash over you. Birthright. Despite illness of mind or body, in spite of blinding despair or habitual belief, who you are is whole. Let nothing keep you separate from the truth. The soul, illumined from within, longs to be known for what it is. Undying, untouched by fire or the storms of life. There is a place inside where stillness and abiding peace reside. You can ride the breath to go there. Despite doubt or hopeless turns of mind, you are not broken. Despite surrounds, embraces fills you from the inside out. Spirit surrounds, embraces, fills you from the inside out. Release everything that isn't your true nature. What's left? The fullness, light and shadow. Claim all that is your birthright. Birthright. Despite illness of body or mind, in spite of blinding despair or habitual belief, who you are is whole. Let nothing keep you separate from the truth. The soul, illumined from within, longs to be known for what it is. Undying, untouched by fire or the storms of life, there is a place inside where stillness and abiding peace reside. You can ride the breath to go there. Despite doubt or hopeless turns of mind, you are not broken. Spirit surrounds, embraces, fills you from inside out. Release everything that isn't your true nature. What's left? The fullness, light and shadow. Claim all that is your birthright. Start to deepen your breath. Begin to notice how your body is lying on the mat. start to bring some movement into your body. So maybe your fingers, your toes, moving your head from side to side. Yeah, you could stretch right from your toes to your hands. Stretch your whole body. And drawing the knees into the chest. And find your way onto your side before coming back up to seated. And when you're back in seated, you can have your eyes closed. And gently breathing in, feeling a lengthening, and breathing out, feeling that relaxation and softening. Take a few deep breaths here. Softly wake up after a rest. And then we'll finish today with our 3 times the Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing in together. Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring the hands to Namaste and above the head in Prana Mudra. Taking 3 deep, life-affirming breaths. And overhead, Namaste down through the centers, Sahasrara at the crown, Ajna at the third eye, Vishuddhi at the throat, and Anahata at the heart center. Namaste. And thank you for joining me. It's been lovely to have you again. So nice to share this practice together. Sorry about vocab. Just sometimes I think it's just the way I'm made. I just would not have ever been like a James Bond or something. Like, I don't know. My brain just isn't very clever. It doesn't work very fast. It's like, right leg, oh no, left leg, like that. Yeah, so, thanks
Limerick yoga. It sounds like. Oh, Fiona left a bit early as well. So it's lovely to have different people here. Thanks, Emma. It's really nice to follow. It's really nice to follow other people's classes, isn't it? So Limerick Yoga has got her own channel, and so it's worth checking out her yoga videos as well, because she's pretty fantastic. It's lovely you stopped by. Did you manage to do the whole session, or was it just a stop by and say hello? Limerick, it's not Limerick, sorry. Limerick's a poem. Limerick yoga, is that how you pronounce it? Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, it's lovely. And yeah, Kathy normally, well, I was coming to my real live classes, but it's looking like, Kathy, we can't actually start them back until, yeah, it's looking like we can't start back until May. Hilarious. But at least we've got this. That's the main thing. So yeah, Limerick Yoga, yeah, it's so lovely to be led, isn't it? So I look forward to doing one of your classes as well, on your videos, because it's just lovely to be led by other people. Yeah, and I'm pleased you had the day off. That's great. Okay, I suppose we better go. I know, Kathy, it's May. It's a really long time. It's because they're not doing the tier system this time by the sounds of it. They're just doing it as a thing all over. So if we would otherwise have gone back way sooner because we're so low around here. But yeah, I don't know where you're from, Lamik, if you're still here, but if we're in the UK, we're in full lockdown at the moment. Yeah. So Lamik Yoga is saying that, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is saying that she will offer live sessions at some point. So that'd be nice to also do other people's. Have a lush day, Emma. So no, Kathy, it won't be because schools are going back and colleges and stuff. So that's fine. I think that will be fine. I think it's just gyms and exercise classes and stuff. But I think schools and colleges, it will count. It will be fine. I'm expecting mine to go back as well, but it's just because I have to go with the gyms and the indoor exercise. So that's what I'm gleaned from Boris's talk the other night, last night, that we won't be going. Yeah, gyms won't, their group classes won't be going back. Let's see. You're in Germany too, and are you in full lockdown? Oh, actually, if it's Germany, it won't be Limerick, will it? Is it Limike? Is it Lamike? Oh, no, Germany. Let me just try and remember my German. I'm not very good. I used to learn German. Yeah, so you're in lockdown, aren't you? Lamike, yeah. Lamike. Oh, like. Lamike. Is it Lamike or Lamike? Oh, it's not a German name. Lamike. Okay, great. Okay, so I better go. But yeah, lovely to see you all and lovely to connect with you, Lamike or Lamike. See you again soon.